After teaching how wealth is protected from loss, Arkad sensed a deeper readiness among the men. They no longer asked how to gain gold quickly, nor how to guard it out of fear. Their minds had grown steady. Arkad spoke again, his voice calm and deliberate. "You have learned how gold is earned, how it is grown, and how it is protected," he said. "Now you must understand the laws by which it lives." The men listened with renewed focus. They sensed that these words would not offer tricks or shortcuts, but principles that would govern wealth for a lifetime. Arkad explained that gold, like all things of value, follows certain laws. These laws do not change with time, fortune, or desire. Those who understand them prosper. Those who ignore them struggle, regardless of effort. He told them that many men work hard all their lives yet remain poor, not because opportunity is absent, but because these laws are unknown or ignored. Wealth does not respond to wishes. It responds to order. One of the men asked whether these laws were difficult to follow. Arkad smiled gently. "They are simple," he replied, "but simplicity does not make them easy. Most men fail not because the laws are complex, but because discipline is required to obey them." He explained that these laws guide gold from its first earning to its final preservation. They teach how wealth begins, how it grows, how it is protected, and how it endures. Arkad warned them that knowing these laws without applying them was useless. Gold rewards action guided by understanding, not knowledge stored without use. As the men reflected, they realized that wealth was not chaos or chance. It was governed, predictable, and fair to those who respected its rules. Arkad told them that he would now share these laws, one by one, just as they had been shared with him long ago. "This," he said, "is the wisdom that separates those who struggle all their lives from those who build lasting abundance." Arkad began with the first law, speaking slowly so that every word could settle. "Gold comes gladly and in increasing quantity," he said, "to any man who sets aside a part of all he earns." The men listened in silence. The statement was simple, yet Arkad knew how often simplicity is dismissed. He explained that most men believe wealth begins with great opportunity or sudden increase in income. In truth, it begins with a decision. The decision to keep, not consume, a portion of every earning. Arkad told them that gold obeys habit. When a man forms the habit of saving first, gold finds its way back to him more easily. When a man forms the habit of spending first, gold avoids him, no matter how much he earns. One of the men asked how much should be set aside. Arkad replied that the amount matters less than the consistency. A small portion saved faithfully grows stronger than a large portion saved only when convenient. Discipline gives strength to even modest beginnings. He warned them that many men wait to save until they earn more. This delay keeps them poor. Wealth does not appear before discipline. Discipline must appear first. Arkad explained that setting aside gold is an act of respect toward the future. It tells gold that it is valued and given purpose. When gold is treated with respect, it returns with companions. He reminded them that this law works quietly. It does not demand sacrifice or suffering. It requires only patience and consistency. As the men reflected, they realized that this first law was not difficult, but it demanded honesty with oneself. It revealed priorities clearly. Arkad concluded by saying that this law opens the door to all others. Without it, no further wisdom can take hold. "This," he said, "is where every lasting fortune begins." After explaining the first law, Arkad paused, allowing its simplicity to settle into the minds before him. He told the men that many hear this law, agree with it, and yet never follow it. The failure, he said, is rarely due to lack of understanding. It comes from lack of self-command. Desires, Arkad explained, grow faster than income. A man who does not learn to control his wants will always feel poor, regardless of how much he earns. He said that gold slips away from those who try to satisfy every wish. Such men confuse necessity with desire, and in doing so, leave nothing for the future. One of the men asked whether saving required a life of sacrifice. Arkad replied that true wisdom lies in balance. A wise man enjoys life, but does not allow pleasure to steal from tomorrow. Saving does not demand suffering. It demands judgment. He reminded them that when unnecessary desires are restrained, gold finds room to remain. Control, he said, is the quiet strength that allows wealth to take root. As the men reflected, they began to see that poverty often begins not with small earnings, but with uncontrolled appetites. This part of the law, Arkad said, teaches mastery over oneself before mastery over money. Arkad then spoke of the resistance a man feels when he first begins to obey the law of saving. He explained that when a man decides to set aside a part of all he earns, his old habits immediately rise in protest. Desires that were once quiet demand attention. Comfort resists change, and the mind searches for reasons to abandon discipline. Many men, Arkad said, mistake this resistance for proof that saving is impossible. In truth, it is proof that the habit is necessary. Every discipline feels heavy at first because it challenges what is familiar. He reminded them that strength is never built through ease. Just as the body grows strong through repeated effort, the habit of saving grows firm through consistent practice. Arkad told them that the discomfort does not last forever. When saving becomes routine, the mind adjusts. What once felt restrictive begins to feel protective. A man who once feared setting money aside later fears being without it. He explained that gold responds to consistency. When it sees that it is valued regularly, it begins to remain longer and return more willingly. Disorder drives gold away, but routine invites it back. One of the men asked how long this struggle lasts. Arkad replied that the struggle lasts only until discipline replaces habit. Once that happens, saving no longer feels like effort. It feels like stability. As the men listened, they understood that the true battle was not with money, but with themselves. Arkad concluded that those who endure this early resistance gain control that many never achieve. This control, he said, becomes the foundation of all future wealth. After speaking of discipline, Arkad turned to the quiet change that follows obedience to the law. He told the men that when a man saves consistently, something within him begins to shift. Fear of the future weakens, and confidence slowly takes its place. He no longer feels driven by urgency, but guided by preparation. Arkad explained that savings create freedom of choice. A man with reserves is not forced into poor decisions by sudden need. He can wait, observe, and choose wisely, while others must act out of pressure. He reminded them that opportunity favors the prepared. Many chances appear in life, but only those who have set aside gold are able to seize them. Intelligence and effort alone are not enough when readiness is absent. One of the men asked whether small savings could truly make such a difference. Arkad replied that readiness does not depend on size, but on habit. Even modest savings, gathered faithfully, change how a man approaches life. He stands steadier, thinks clearer, and acts with greater calm. He explained that men without savings live at the mercy of events. Unexpected expenses become crises, and sudden changes bring fear. Savings turn uncertainty into inconvenience rather than disaster. As the men reflected, they realized that the first law offered more than future wealth. It offered present peace. Arkad said that this growing confidence is a reward few expect, yet it is one of the greatest gifts of disciplined saving. As Arkad brought his teaching on the first law to a close, the men sensed its full weight settle within them. He reminded them that this law is the foundation upon which all wealth is built. Without it, no plan can stand, no investment can grow, and no fortune can endure. Every other principle depends upon this beginning. Arkad told them that saving a part of all one earns is not an act of deprivation, but an act of respect for life ahead. It is a promise made to the future, honored quietly through consistent action. He explained that men who obey this law do not rush wealth, nor do they fear time. Their gold grows steadily, protected by habit and guided by patience. Such men build strength without noise and security without display. He warned them that many hear this law, admire it, and still fail to follow it. Knowledge alone, he said, has no power. Only action gives wisdom its value. As the men prepared to depart, they understood that this first law was not merely about money. It was about discipline, foresight, and self-respect. It shaped character as much as fortune. Arkad looked upon them with calm assurance. This law, he said, opens the path. Those who walk it faithfully will never again feel lost where money is concerned. Think richer. Live calmer. Supra.